Before we start the presentation of the awards, there are a number of people who need to be thanked for a number of reasons. We'll start with my wife Diane for more than I can say. I'd like to thank Mr. Jump for all of his help and support this season, Mr. King for his infinite wisdom, the Wellington High School Soccer Boosters, the Athletic Boosters, Wellington Indoor Comfort, Wellington Implement, Brothers Chevrolet, Veterans of Foreign War, Village Market, Subway Subs for their support, and a lot of the hardware that's going to be passed out tonight was sponsored by these organizations. I'd like to also thank Brothers Chevrolet for sponsoring our championship t-shirts, which you haven't seen yet, but you'll be impressed when you do. Okay. They will arrive soon, and when they arrive, you'll all have them. I want to thank Mrs. Stahersky and Mrs. Hyde for putting together the dinners and the post-game meals that we've had all season. I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Hyde for putting together the slideshow that we were just looking at. Mr. Young has put together a highlights tape that all the players will get. He hasn't got them all copied yet, but they're done, and everybody will have one soon. I'd like to thank the Wellington Athletic Boosters for the sandwiches and the snacks that they provided for us before each tournament game. I'd also like to thank the Wellington Athletic Boosters for the portable quick goals that were so important to our practices all season long. I want to thank our ball boys, A.J. Hyde, Eric Haynes, John Johnson, and Ben Bogan for all the running they do for us, helping to make sure that things are picked up and put away after the games. You saw a lot of pictures on the slideshow. A lot of pictures were taken this year by different people. Mr. and Mrs. Hyde, Mrs. Bogan, Mr. Mazzoni, Mr. Stawicki, Mr. Martin all contributed to those pictures and the ones that are over there on the display boards. I'd like to thank Mr. Mazzoni for the newspaper articles and the announcements during the tournament games. Mr. Woods from the middle school for supplying and setting up the PA system for us during the tournaments and providing all the helium for the balloons today. And would like to thank Mr. Young and Mr. Culp for filming the games for us. I'd like to also thank Scott Bryan. Scott, would you stand up? Some of you probably have seen Scott but don't necessarily know who he is. He came in the early part of the season as our new trainer. He's the man that gets the injured ready to play, does all he can to make sure that we're as healthy as possible in a long season. His knowledge and his care of our athletes have helped us make a stronger team, especially this tournament season. I want to thank all of the parents for their support of our program and working to make it better. And parents, I know that there are a lot of things that you do that I don't hear about or see that are invaluable in making our season successful. These anonymous acts are very much appreciated. I'd also like to thank Coach Ridenauer of Ohio Northern University. He continues to be a major reason for the success of our program. It's been through his camps that we have become a much stronger soccer team. Each year we come back from Ohio Northern a much stronger team than when we arrived. For the second year in a row, not only did we go to Ohio Northern, but Ohio Northern came to us for a week, which helped us a great deal this year. Hey. Chances are I've probably forgotten somebody, and I apologize profusely. We have had an outstanding soccer season. We went farther than we've ever gone before, not necessarily as far as we really wanted to go, but we did some great things this season. And we're here tonight to celebrate those things. And one of the things that I feel that makes this team such an outstanding soccer team is the fact that we have so many scholar athletes on this team. This year, a roster of 16 have been named scholar athletes. To be a scholar athlete, you have to have a 3.0 grade point average during your playing season. And that's an extremely hard thing to do. So, because I feel that they are so important, we start out with the Scholar Athlete Awards. And since they are so important, we have the most important person in the high school hand them out. But unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. So Mr. King's going to do it. You're welcome.
I just say, obviously, Mr. Little hasn't talked to my wife when he said that. Very important. When we had a pep rally earlier in the year, I said, and I meant this, I said this was my 6 years at Wellington High School, this is the best boys soccer team I've ever seen, and you guys obviously lived up to that. And as far as I'm concerned today, you still are the best boys soccer team I've seen. You guys played outstanding this year. You played as a team all the way through, and you know, to lose in the regional finals 2-1 to the eventual state champion is nothing but greatness. And you guys deserve everything you get tonight and the rest of your careers. I think there's a combination of, you get good coaches, of course, and Mr. Lowe has proven their coaching, and you got great players. But you also have a great fan base, and I think that's Wellington soccer. I've noticed of all the teams you guys play, I think those three combinations make you guys on top every year. And when me and Mr. Jump were just talking back here, and we said, you know, I said, try to think of any professional, college, high school team in any sport that's won 5 straight championships in a row. And we really couldn't think of anything. You know, in the pros, there's no pro teams that'd be that consistent. College-wise, no, and on the high school level, even, you know, through all the sports, it's just tough to name any team that can be that consistent and win 5 straight championships in a row. That's a feat that I know right now, I don't know what that means, but later on in your life, that's something you guys will always remember and always be proud of. And we're also proud to pass out the Scholar Athlete Awards, and when we call your name, would you just come up and I brought Mr. Jump because he wants to shake your hand also. He's as proud as we are. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Yeah.
Love your support.
Okay, Nicholas Ziegler. Keith Smith. Zachariah Ziegler. Ryan Hyde. Kevin Moore. CJ Stahersky. Chris Young. Joshua Ziegler. Sam Porgas.